support them and let them know if that person don't want to be your friend, I will be your friend. Okay? That's what you guys can do. The Trump tariffs and farmers, when they talk about the tariffs and farmers and the economy, they're talking about white people. Remember, black farmers had to fight white government, had to fight white people for decades to try and get their reparations and get the same thing that white farmers were getting. And even then, they still waited for them to die off, and they took their lands for white farming. They did all this stuff. So when they're talking about this stuff, the tariffs, and oh my goodness, the tariffs are hurting farmers and hurting the economy. They're talking about white people, not black people. Okay, so you guys stop getting caught up in that. Every country has a right to put the amount of tariffs that they think on goods and services. And if one country is creating a deficit because their products are made cheap with cheap labor or slave labor or whatever, it's only slave labor if the person does not get paid. Stop calling cheap labor the same as slave labor. Cheap labor is a person that is offered a low amount for the job, and they say, okay, well, I'll take the job anyway, no matter how messy a job it is, no matter how much the job sucks, I'm going to take it anyway. Stop comparing, white Hispanics working in the fields, picking vegetables or whatever it is, to black slavery. It is not the same. These white Hispanics, these white Asians, they don't have chains around their necks. They don't have chains around their children's necks. They don't have shackles on their feet. At any time, they can leave these jobs and say, I don't want to do this anymore. That means they are not a slave. Okay, so you black people, stop getting caught up in that stupidity that white liberals mostly are trying to push on you guys, comparing everything to black slavery. There's nothing that is compared to what whites did to blacks and what whites are doing to blacks. So stop getting caught up in that. That is ridiculous for you to let yourself get caught up in that. The conservative media, you guys are always talking